Okay, so let's review our cell theory. So we looked at the idea of what is a microscope, and a microscope is a scientific tool that magnifies, or magnify objects that are very small to make them bigger. Okay? It uses many lenses to refract a beam of light through an object. And the light is then reflected back from the object and focused to the eye to see the larger image. Okay. Then we looked at the discovery of the cell, and we looked at Hooke's study of cork through the microscope. Hooke saw that the cork looked like it was made up of, he described them as being little rooms. And the idea of little rooms in Latin is the same word as cell. So the word little room means cell, and that's where Hooke got his name for the cell. Leeuwenhoek saw little things floating around in pond water, and he decided that they were living organisms. Other major events that led to the discovery of the cell theory, we had Schleiden, who studied plants and made the conclusion that all plants were made up of cells. We had Schwann, who likewise looked at animals and saw that they were made up of cells. And Virchow, who said that all new cells come from old cells, or all cells come from existing cells. So this led to our three ideas of the cell theory. Number one is all living things are made of cells. 2, cells are the basic units of structure or function in living things. And 3, new cells are produced from existing cells. Okay. Let's do it again. All living things are made of cells. Cells are the basic units of structure and function in living things, and new cells are produced from existing cells. Okay. So what is a cell? Well, a cell is something that is separated from the outside world by a cell membrane, and it needs to store DNA for biological information. Then we looked at the two types of cells. The prokaryotes are very old bacteria-like cells. They're very ancient. Ancient means old. They're smaller than eukaryotic cells, much simpler than eukaryotic cells, and they have no nucleus to them. No membrane-bound nucleus. Their genetic material is kind of spread out through the cytoplasm. And then we looked at the eukaryotes, and they're much larger and more complex than the prokaryotes, and have much more organized structures inside, and they contain a membrane-bound nucleus. Okay. Then we looked at some different organelles. Right? Organelle means a little organ. We looked at the nucleus, which contains the DNA, and it's kind of the control center of the cell. It has a set of instructions on how to build proteins. Okay. Inside, so number 1 here, we have the nucleus of the cell. And inside that, we have the nucleolus. And the nucleolus's job is to help build ribosomes. Number 2 is the nucleus of the cell, where the genetic information is stored, the DNA. Number 3, we've got these little dots that we see all over this structure here. These are called the ribosomes. Ribosome. They're the organelles that build proteins. Number 4, we have, where's number 4? Right here. Number 4, we've got a vesicle. And vesicle is used to transport materials outside of the cell. Number 5, we've got the rough ER. ER stands for endoplasmic reticulum. And it's considered to be rough because it's covered in ribosomes. So it's got not a smooth surface, it's very rough. Number 6, we've got the Golgi apparatus. And its job is to package proteins into vesicles for transport outside of the cell. 7, we've got the cytoskeleton. Just like your body, your bones, your skeleton holds you together. The cell has a skeleton that holds it together too. 8, we have the smooth ER, endoplasmic reticulum, meaning it's not covered in ribosomes. Number 9, we have the mitochondria. Mitochondria is the energy factory of the cell. It makes all the energy for the cell. Number 10, we've got a vacuole. Vacuole can hold things like water or waste products. 11 is the cytoplasm. It's like this watery, jelly-like substance that's throughout the inside of the cell. Number 12 is the lysosome. And a lysosome, what it is, it's kind of like a garbage can of the cell. It packages and destroys harmful materials. So practice these words: nucleolus, nucleus, ribosome, vesicle, rough endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, sometimes called the Golgi body, cytoskeleton, smooth ER, mitochondria, vacuole, cytoplasm, lysosome.